Is now a good time to buy a home in the Greater Toronto Area? Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Faryal and I help home buyers, sellers, and investors navigate the Greater Toronto Area real estate market. And today we are going to tackle a big question: should you buy a home in the GTA now? With interest rates where they are, home prices adjusting, uncertainty in the market, should you buy a home now or should you wait? Let's break it all down. But before I move forward, I do want to do a quick market overview with you to show you what's really happening. First, let's talk about the inventory levels. More listings are coming to the market, giving buyers more choices and negotiating power compared to the previous years. What I'm seeing that the inventory levels are pretty much going up in all types of homes all across the board. Because we are a well-supplied market right now, we are going to see moderate price growth in the year 2025, and we are very well in the buyer's market at the moment as well. Now, when it comes to average prices, we are going to see more faster growth in those segments, especially detached homes, because they are just not making them as faster and more as compared to, let's say, condos. But condo market will experience below average price growth. Home sales are also expected to rise over 12% in the year 2025, so we are going to see more activity. Interest rates, another drop on January 29, which is making them sit at 3% at the moment, but definitely is a good news because more buyers who are waiting for that sign will now enter the market. More activity, more affordability, that is great. But now we have another problem that we are all facing. I wouldn't call a problem, but a new uncertainty to deal with, which is the tariffs being imposed. Now, Bank of Canada might lean towards more interest rate cuts to support the economy if they do end up going ahead and imposing those tariffs. But I wouldn't bet so much on that, of course, because there is so much uncertainty over there. But let's talk about these tariffs and see what can happen. If the tariffs do get implemented after the 30-day pause that we are in, we are definitely going to see potential increase in prices for steel, aluminum, lumber. That will, of course, cause the increase in the construction costs. Higher construction costs means they will reduce new home development further. We're already dealing with that. Before these tariffs, there was supply issue, inflation, construction costs going up, and a lot of developers were backing out. Development fees, of course, was another big one, and they didn't want to build and go ahead with it. So we were already facing challenges in the new home and new construction category. This will just amplify that. Because of the higher cost of the construction, those costs will definitely be passed down to the buyers. Now, that means that the buyers might not be attracted to those new projects anymore, and that can increase demand for the resale homes more. Another thing that could potentially happen is that investors and buyers might decide to make a more faster move in this market before we started seeing these hikes. Because keep in mind, anything that's new that's being implemented, it takes time for us to see the results of those implementation. So it's not that the tariffs being imposed after 30 days we'll start seeing the hikes right away. However, some buyers and investors might think that, hey, right now is a time before we start seeing more hikes down the road. What does all of this mean for you as a buyer? Let's talk about some of the pros and cons of buying right now. So let's first touch on the pros. Number one is less competition and more negotiation power. I keep seeing that over and over again because it is a blessing to be in a market where you have the negotiating power for one of the biggest assets you're going to buy. Unlike the crazy bidding wars we had from the late 2020 to 2022 beginning, today's buyer have the room to negotiate on price, closing terms, and also the conditions such as financing and home inspection, right? So what does that really mean for you? Well, if you are someone who's putting an offer and you have the option to put in financing and inspection conditions, financing means you can now take the time to choose the best financing options, the loan terms, shop around for the interest rates, because you have time. On average right now, to sell a home, it's taking anywhere minimum for 30 days to, in some cases, 60 days. So you have time. When it comes to inspection, it really gives you the opportunity to know the health of the home, to know if there are any big ticket items that need to be fixed right away, such as roof, furnace. It might be a water damage in the basement that need to be fixed and it's a high cost, right? Now, when you find out those findings, you know the health of the home, you can either go back to the seller and negotiate the price, the purchase price, to adjust the cost in it, or even ask them to fix it. Whatever the case is, you have the ability to negotiate with the seller, and you have the time to really pause and think if this is the right investment for you. And then also you have the opportunity to come up with the right price. You're not just putting the price because you want to win the bidding war, right? You have the opportunity to go back, do further research, find the right comparables that have been sold in the area, see what the prices are doing in the market, and adjust that and come up with the price that is a fair market value, and you're not overpaying for the asset that you are about to invest in. You're able to negotiate. Of course, this is something that your real estate agent can help you with, provide those numbers, but in some cases you might even be able to negotiate a little bit lower than the market value because home has been sitting on the market for too long. There are not many buyers. Whatever the case is, guys, you have options and you have time. Number 2 is more choices for buyers to take their time to choose from, to make sure that they are picking the right home rather than rushing into purchasing due to a FOMO. We all remember going for that home, less inventory, and every buyer wanted that home, and we had 40 offers on the table, right? It was frustrating time, guys, for us real estate agents to see our buyers going through that and for the buyers to go through it. Well, guess what? Now you have options to choose from. Number 3, future rate drops mean refinancing opportunities. So let's say you are someone who's buying now, you can lock the price of the market today before the rate drops, because we all know the rate drops, demand goes up, the price go up, and when you do that, you can then refinance for a better monthly payment down the road. Number 4 is rent versus own dilemma. We all know that rental prices in the GTA have skyrocketed in the previous years, even though they are coming down a little bit, $100 to $200 in some areas. However, they're still pretty high, which makes home ownership a more stable long-term investment. And it's not just putting the money every month towards someone else's pocket, it's also dealing with the uncertainty that landlord can ask you to leave that home anytime. From a Toronto Real Estate Board latest buying and selling intentions survey that was conducted, 2 out of 3 renters said that they would not tolerate further rent increases before considering purchasing a home. So let's talk about the reasons to wait. Number 1 is high interest rates impacts your affordability. So if you're someone who is stretching your budget already, waiting for lower interest rates to go further down might help you to qualify for a larger loan, of course, or to be able to afford a lower monthly payment. Number 2 is uncertain market conditions. Everyone talks about that. Prices could further dip, especially in certain neighborhoods, though trying to time the bottom is always very tricky, so you will do it at your own risk. However, if you are someone who might be interested in upsizing or someone who wants to buy a semi-detached or detached home, prices are expected to rise a little bit more faster in those segments, which means that they might never reach that bottom that you're hoping for before the market shifts and becomes a seller's market. Number 3 is tighter mortgage approval. With higher rates, qualifying for a mortgage has become tougher. We all know that. So if your finances aren't strong, it might be in your best interest to wait and save. So the question comes, who should buy now? If you're someone who is financially stable, planning to stay in your home for at least 5+ years, and are you comfortable with current rates and have that extra cushion to deal with those monthly costs that a lot of people forget about, which is the utilities, taxes, maintenance, unexpected expenses that can show up, then now is a great time for you to buy. On the flip side, if you're someone whose budget is tight right now, or you are someone who's just uncertain about your long-term plans, then waiting might make more sense for you. So my final advice on all of this is that it's all about strategy. There's no one-size-fits-all answer. The best decision depends on your own personal financial situation, your goals, and also your risk tolerance. I feel many people right now at the moment are holding back due to fear and uncertainty, which is completely understandable. We cannot deny that. However, I do have a terrific idea for you. Let's focus on what you can control and ignore the noise and rise above it. If you're someone who is buying a home for the first time and does not know how the process goes, I did make an excellent video where I go through all the steps one by one, and I broke it down for you. I have posted the link right up here, so go ahead and click it and watch it. It is a long video, so make sure you are watching it when you have nothing else to do. And if you're someone who's thinking of buying, let's talk. I can help you navigate the market, explore your options, and also negotiate the best terms for you. You can simply DM me, comment below to let me know, or you can book a free consultation. I have all the information in the description. Until next time, have yourself a wonderful day. This is Faryal signing out.